So question 4 in the evaluation is, how did you use new media technologies in the construction and research, planning and evaluation stages? So I'm just going to take you through each stage and what technology I've used to create Love Lola. So to start with, construction. Final Cut Pro was brilliant for editing the final piece. We were offered this in our school Mac room, so it was really easy to use and access. I've already had experience with it last year, so I knew how to use it as well, which was really helpful. So you literally just had to plug the camera in, then you just log and transfer the files to here, and then you just drag it down to the sequencer to wherever you wanted in the film. So that was really easy to do. And then with the clips, you could literally do whatever you needed to the clip. So that could include transitions. So fades in and fades out were one of the main ones we use, but there were loads of options like dissolves and things like that you could pick from in the effects menu to add a transition between two clips. This meant the movement was a lot smoother and the whole film just looked more professional. As well as that, music was quite vital in our film, especially with voiceovers, as that's a vital part of film noirs. And it was really easy to do. You just find the memo on the computer and then import it into the database again, and then you just drag it down to the sequencer on top of a clip. So that was really easy to do, and you could easily move a sound wherever you needed to, which again was very useful. As well as that, there are a number of editing techniques that we needed to use on our film. This included the colour scheme on each clip. Specifically, there were a few scenes where we'd shot it in the daytime, including this scene that you can see here, and we wanted it to be nighttime because this is a fight scene, so we wanted the atmosphere of sort of darkness, so you can analyse that and connect the two together, sort of create a bigger atmosphere. So it was really easy to do. You just had to go on effects and colour corrector, which you can see up here, and then you could change the colouring and highlighting and shadows and things like that on the image. So it was really easy to do and really useful, especially for a lot of our shots which we shot at wrong times of the day. As well as that, speed was another vital thing in our film. So there are a few parts of the film where we wanted to slow down the speed, specifically when Hannah passes the gun over to Simon to show the sort of corruption passing from one character to the other. We wanted to slow that right down, so it's slow motion, to create a bigger impact and a bigger atmosphere at this point to the audience, and to make sure they realise it was a significant part of the film. So that was really easy to do. You just had to go on sequence and then change the speed level to what you wanted, and again was a very useful tool as part of editing. So overall, this software was really useful and easy to use. If I had any issues, it would just be that the rendering took quite a while, so that was quite time consuming, and unfortunately right near the end of finishing editing, the whole computer sort of froze and we lost a bit of work, but luckily we still had a few bit of time to rectify that issue. But apart from that, it was a really helpful software to use, really, and came up with quite a professional looking film. Another construction tool I used was, I got a free trial of Photoshop. That was really useful for the posters, and another good thing was the fact that I could download this onto my home computer, so I wasn't restricted to school hours when I could be editing in the Mac room. So Photoshop I just learnt as I went along. It was really easy and gave you all the information you needed if you needed any help, and you could literally do anything you needed to the pictures. So you could change the colouring of an image. That was really easy to do. You had all these tabs that you just moved to change like the lighting or the whites and blacks, things like that, to the image, which made it look really professional. As well as that, you can crop the images, and also if you had any blemishes or anything like that you wanted to get rid of, you could by using the One tool. We had an issue where we'd left the date and time on the camera, so when you uploaded the pictures it was on the images, so obviously it didn't look very professional having a poster with the date and time on it. So I used the Wonder Brush to just blur out the date and time, which would appear down here, and then it looked really professional and effective and you couldn't see it anymore. So it was really useful with things like that to make look like a professional photo had been taken. I really didn't have any issues with it. It was really easy to use, and you came out with the final product which looked really effective. Another construction tool was Publisher. Again, I'd had a previous experience with it, so I found it really easy to use. This is what I used to create the review, and the reason I picked this software was the fact that you could create your own, pick a template which you could use. So I could find a template which fitted the shape of a layout of a review, and then it was really simple to then add my images and text boxes and things like that to create a professional looking review. It was really easy and useful. You could change the colour schemes and the font types you had on there, anything you wanted really for a review. So it was a very helpful tool in creating that part of the coursework. Another construction tool for the film was freesounds.org. This is where I was able to download sounds and music for the film itself. So I just made a free account, and then you could literally search for anything and then go through all the sounds they had, and download was really easy to do and quick, which was really helpful, and it was a bonus that it was free. And it came up with professional sounds that I could then put in my film and help create that atmosphere that we wanted in each scene. So I had the fact that you had lots to choose from was really helpful in picking. You could pick exactly what was right for your film. So again, that was really useful, and I had no issues with that either. For all four sections now, Blogger was used to create my virtual portfolio. This I used last year as well, so I had experience and I knew how to work it, which again was very helpful. Blogger has everything you really need, to be honest, to create this sort of portfolio. So you can create posts where you write whatever you're looking at the time, and then you can literally add a link, a picture, a movie, anything you need to create your post, and that's easy by clicking on these little tabs up here, which is really easy to do. As well as that, which I thought was quite nice, is you could make pages instead of just having a post after a post. So I did that, but up here, as you can see, created a page for each section of the coursework, and I felt this would make it easier to see which was in which and help the marker to look at the correct sections of my blog, and I felt it gave it more of a professional look on the front page as well. This is a screenshot of the front page. And I felt it explained it quite nicely, and they knew where to go to get each section that they have to give marks for. So I thought overall Blogger was really useful to show all my work off, and it gave it sort of a professional look as well. If I had any issues with Blogger, it would just be that trying to move images and text was sometimes a bit difficult, as the images wouldn't always move where you wanted it to, but you just had to persevere, and eventually you got the look you wanted. So overall I was really happy with the use of Blogger as well. Other technologies I used for all four areas of this coursework was YouTube. I obviously used that to publish my videos that I created on Movie Maker, and also to look at other people's videos of clips from other film noirs and things like that, which I could then research as part of my researching for the blog, which was really helpful. PowerPoint also came in handy. Once I'd edited the pictures on Photoshop for my poster, I then put them into PowerPoint where I could add the text to make it look like a proper poster. It was easier to use than Word, I found, so it was really helpful for that. And I made this on a PowerPoint presentation as well, so for the evaluation it was really helpful. QuickTime Player was also useful for videos, as that's how you export it onto a QuickTime Player, and also it was really useful for the evaluation stages, as you can film the screen like I'm doing now, so you can see exactly what I'm trying to show you, which came really in handy as well. And also my iPhone, we used that to create voice recordings of the voiceovers in the film on the day of shooting, as we hadn't thought about this until we were there. So the phone came in really handy, and obviously if we had any issues it was really easy to redo voiceovers, as I've always got my phone on me, and it was easy to send that then to the computer to put onto Final Cut. So that was very useful as well. So overall, all four of these technologies came in handy to create the final piece. So as I said earlier, Movie Maker was another key part of all four stages of this work I've done for the coursework. I was able, for research, I made movie makers looking at analysing clips, film noir research, all of that sort of things. I looked at codes and conventions using pictures in a movie maker, and I could record my voice over the top of images, which was really helpful. And you can also input sound into there, so I analysed the sounds we'd use in our film in the planning stages, which was really helpful. And I also used it in the construction stages, looking at planning out storyboards and things like that. So overall I use Movie Maker quite a lot, and it was a real useful tool to show off my work, really, and it was really easy to use and to input what you wanted. And then just for the evaluation, social networking became key, really, into getting the feedback I needed from the film. So after I'd published it on YouTube, I could then publish it on Twitter, and I messaged people on Facebook the link to the film, and then they could use feedback. They could then give me feedback from it. So I had people message me on Facebook with their feedback, and also I got tweets as well, and I also emailed it to people as well, who then commented on the YouTube video itself, which you can see in the other evaluation question, where I've shown you the images of their feedback. And overall it was really helpful to be able to get as much feedback from my target audience as possible. I could ask a lot more people than just doing it face to face, as they could watch it in their own time and give me their feedback whenever they were ready. So social networking has been really helpful to branch out and expand my audience space. So overall I used quite a lot of technology this year to create my final piece. They all came in handy to create everything, and work together to produce quite professional looking outcomes.